just the initial reaction to first Pro Bowl berth. How do you feel?
I feel good, man. It's one of the accomplishments of mine, and that's something that I grew up watching. When I was a kid, watching Pro Bowl, seeing the guys out there, having fun, just enjoying the stuff that they did across the league. So for me, this be my first time. I'm excited about it.
Who do you remember as some players that were participating in the Pro Bowl when you were younger?
Uh, I wouldn't say like when I was that young, but so like even though I do have running back, I used to always like watching like when the receivers they little got to study every station to catch the ball, and when they just play dodgeball and stuff like that, and you know Odell was kind of somebody that I watch just the fact that I just like seeing him catch one hand passes and stuff like that. So and that's somebody that I watched, and I'm a running back, so I'm not gonna be able to do that, but. It just just fun being out there. Just the environment. Just talking with players that you played against and stuff like that.
I was gonna ask, what can you do? What are you not gonna do? Because I feel like we talked before. Your versatility is something that stands out. So you won't be able to do any of the pass catching stuff.
I mean, I don't know. This is my first time. I'm just gonna be out there, doing what they tell me to do. So I don't know how to, you know, how to send this and stuff like that. But I'm just gonna be out there, enjoying myself.
Which part of so there's three components to the vote: the fans, the coaches, and your peers. Which part of the vote means the most to you?
I would say the peers, because then the people that you be around, you play against, so probably that part for real.
Were you surprised that you were the only person on this team that made it?
Yeah, most definitely.
If you could give let's say five names that you wish would have been in there, who would those five be?
On this team, obviously, my fullback Alec, Brew. Um, I always want to see like QB1 there, Waddle, and probably JB for sure. So yeah.
If you're here long term, hopefully, what would be the most meaningful to you among most yards from scrimmage ever by a Dolphin, most rushing yards ever by a Dolphin, most TDs in franchise history? Which is the most meaningful?
Rushing yards for sure. That'll be the
Rushing.
most. Yeah, rushing.
Yeah. Is Ricky Williams someone that you watched much? I mean, it was.
I watched him a lot, but I probably came across him. It wasn't just somebody that I was just watching for real.
Yeah.
But I know who he is and I know what he done. So yeah.
If I had told you that you would have more than 1,200 rushing yards in an NFL season when you were a kid, what would you have said?
I don't know, bro. To be honest, because I played a lot of sports when I was a kid, so I wouldn't would have thought like who said I was going to go to the NFL. I kind of probably would have went track or somewhere else, because when you kid you do a lot of things, you active. So I don't know, bro.